Hi, so you're probably wondering what happened with my food relationship with all of those food series. You know what I mean? I don't have so much time to explain it to you now, but basically yesterday I went to the nutritionist and she told me a bunch of new things. Basically I told her that since summer is coming, I don't want to be following a super strict diet because it was very specific. I had to weight every single thing, and since I've been dieting with all of these weighting things since basically 2 months, I think that now I can do all that by myself. It's gonna be a challenge because on one side I don't want to gain weight because I'm happy with this weight, but on the other side I know that it's necessary to gain weight. So I hope that summer and being with my friends will bring me a bit more of freedom and all of that. But basically, since I'm not following a diet plan anymore, she just told me that I have to follow some guidelines so that during summer I can be, it can be just easier to follow a plan so that all of my friends won't have to eat like me, they won't have to weight every single thing, we will be a bit more free and whatever. So basically these are the guidelines that she gave me. So she said that for breakfast I can do some of these things. I can use some fruit, some cereals, some biscuits, some bread with jam or peanut butter, honey, whatever, or maybe something savory like some ham or cheese or ricotta, whatever. Or I could use some yogurt or some coffee and milk, which usually is my morning drink. So I'm always gonna use coffee and milk also because, it helps the belly in the morning. Then I have to have a snack in the middle between breakfast and lunch, and it can be some dried fruit or some fresh fruit or a toast, protein bar, even some ice cream, which being in Italy usually is called a gelato and is way better than ice cream. Then for lunch, every single day I will have to use high calorie carb source like some rice, pasta, chickpeas or lentils, which usually I avoid because it causes me some bloating and some gas in my belly, couscous or some quinoa, basically any single thing that I want. And that is really great because I could do so many salads, like even some cold salads. I don't know if you know what they are, but basically they're salads with some carb source like pasta, rice, barley, whatever, then some veggies and maybe some protein, especially if it's a soy protein, so that it doesn't have to be hot in order to be tasty. Or I could use some bread or some other type of grain. Then of course some veggies that can be cooked or just raw veggies, and then some meat or fish, or as I told you before, just a protein source. Tonight for dinner I'm planning to do some tempeh curry kind of thing. In fact, I'm going to the supermarket in a few minutes. And then for dinner, basically the same thing. The only thing that I can change is instead of having some pasta or rice or the first plate, I could just have some bread, which is basically the same thing. So this is basically what is happening into my diet, all of the changes that I'm doing, all of the things that are going to be happening during the summer, and basically how I will eat in the summer, because two friends of mine are also gonna come to a house that I have in Ireland, and we're gonna go and do so many things together and maybe drink sometimes. We're teenagers and we cannot just be focusing all the time over food, and that is not really healthy, even for my mental health. This is something that also my nutritionist has said. She said that I'm too focused on food, that I should be doing something else, that I should be going out with friends. And this is why into my diet that I've been following for the past 2 weeks, she said that I have to use one day when I can eat whatever I want, like for dinner, for example, and lunchtime will be a bit easier, a bit more chill, so that on dinner I can eat some pizza, sushi, whatever. Actually, I don't like sushi, but just to make an example, I could basically just eat whatever I want. And this is something that I really do appreciate because, being always on a diet plan, being always forced to weight some things, on one side it's great because I know that there is a specialist behind all of this measuring things, but on the other side it's kind of stressing me out because sometimes I would like to have something more, but I don't know if I should do that because everything is super weighted. And I know that having consciousness over what you eat is really important, and knowing what you're putting into your body is important, and sometimes weighting things can be actually helpful. For example, even though I'm Italian, I don't have that eye where I can just know what type of pasta and how much pasta I want to eat. So for example, pasta is something that I have to wait because I just wouldn't know what to do if I didn't do that. We should not be always dieting and planning over things and just focusing over calories and nutrients and all of that. Like, you just have to meet a certain level of healthy calories or macros and all of that, but don't be stressing so much over those grams or calories, those little numbers that do not actually measure your happiness, the way that you're living life. And this is something that I don't really know if I'm saying this to you or to myself, because I really have to be reminded of that. So after this whole big talk, we're gonna go to the supermarket. As I've just told you, I basically have some kind of more food freedom, and I want to try some new recipes that I've not been able to try because I was following this diet plan. So we're just gonna go super quick because it's basically dinner time, and yeah.
Thank you,